I don't know if it was furniture per se, as much as it was just an overall look and feel for something to be clean aesthetically. And I think that the furniture, and specifically the genre that we're in, is just kind of where I found that to really cultivate itself. And so, that was, I kind of related back to a time in my life when, I had lived with my grandmother for several years, and she just had an impeccable taste. It was whenever I went to Tulsa for AT&T, and so whenever I was trying to find my spot, I lived with her. But she, had 15 throw pillows on the bed that I was staying in. So I had to learn how to make my bed with 15 throw pillows, So I came very attuned to how things should be orderly put together. My grandmother one time went to a liquor store because she was trying to just put this little display case together, but she took her measuring tape because she knew what height the bottles needed to be in order to make it look a certain way. So we're literally in the back of a liquor store, and she's just measuring bottles that are different colors as well, so it also blends together. And that's just like what I was exposed to for several years, and her designer that would come over. And so I just was like, what is how? Like, I didn't even know that things could look a certain way at that point. And so that's, I think, is where it really kind of nest egged. And then I went into sales and kind of started doing this on the side. But my house, the way things were outside of work for even what I was doing at home, like, were always in a certain way or a certain, frame of mind, a sense of it just aesthetically would flow, or there would be an even level of how the rooms would move around. So, but I mean, I can tell you, I was one of my first apartments in Fayetteville. Actually, like, I've always kind of had that artistic side as well too. Like, what's behind you was something that I had created. And so, one of my apartments, I painted one of the major walls like a huge Tetris board, like squared it up perfectly and everything. And I just remember the manager coming back in and saw it, and she was like, "You're definitely going to lose your deposit." And I was like, she was like, "How many coats of paint did this take?" And I was like, 25. And she was like, "Oh," and she just walked out. That was it. So it wasn't always furniture, while I was off, vacationing around the tri-state area, but it was being opened up in other areas as well too, where I was trying to find that as well. So
you draw a lot of inspiration from your grandmother then, and from that time.
A lot of that time, yeah. That's where that really kind of kicked in for me. So and then just the natural innate ability that growing up kind of in the country, working with your hands, that kind of thing that gets kind of taught to you, when your truck breaks down and you got to figure out how to fix it because you're the only one that's going to be around. That mentality of I've got to be able to fix it or do it, it all just kind of culminated in 2018, 2017. So.